Yes.
All right, it looks like we're live here at Potomac Valley Scottish Fiddle Club March 2024 meeting. And we still have some people coming in and getting their instruments ready, but we're starting anyway because we know we've got some of you online. And this month's meeting is featuring music from the Gow repository. So here is the Gow repository. We've done this. We've been looking through all of the major Gow publications. We did the 6 books of the Gow collection, one every other year, and then the 4 books of the Gow repository. And this is book 4, the last book of the repository. This has been a nearly 20-year project in Fiddle Club, and it's enabled us to get an overview of what has been published by the Gows. The main publisher in the family was Nathaniel Gow, the son of Neil Gow, and his big goal was to preserve his father's original compositions and his father's repertoire, which he certainly did. But then Nathaniel Gow and 3 of his brothers and his son and various other family members were all very musical and ran dance bands or played published music or composed music. And so between them all, it was quite a family endeavor. And it's really quite an amazing collection considered all together. So the last, this book, I should have looked up its publication date, but I didn't. And of course, it's not written on the title page because that wasn't often done. They would say it's entered at the Stationers Hall, which was sort of their primitive way of claiming copyright. It didn't really work because there was no enforcement. Claiming copyright still doesn't always work. But it doesn't have the date that they entered it. I can say, though, that it was after the Battle of Waterloo, which, as everybody knows, was in 1815. So because the 4th book of the repository has some specific tunes relating to Waterloo. So that gives you the approximate date. I think the earliest books, which were the Gow collection, that was published before the Gow repositories, those were the late 1780s, something, 1788 maybe, for the first book. And it was through the 1790s and 1800s into the 1810s.
I've got 1817.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense. So I said after 1815.
Yeah.
And yeah. Look at that. All right, so do you want the easiest tune first or the second easiest?
Second easiest.
Second easiest first. Okay. So for this tune, I've got some little visual aids here. It's the last tune in the Gow repository, and it is a tune called Elsie Marley, and it is just about the only tune in all of the Gow books that comes with dance instructions. So here's the tune on this side and the dance instructions over here. And I'll hold that up to the computer camera. And the dance instructions, like a lot of early 19th century dance instructions, are a little difficult to interpret. However, it's not that weird. And I have it in more standard dance notation. It's basically a 9-person dance that's written out for this with 3 threesomes, and you do things in various combinations. You all sort of process up and down the hall. You central people set to and turn partners and then reel with them in various combinations, interspersed with the processing up and down the hall. So it is a dance that takes 24 bars for its simple unit and then repeated in multiple different ways. So the tune that goes with it is a 3-part tune. Now, I have given this tune with repeats. If you were playing it specifically for the Old Country Bumpkin Dance, which is the name of this dance in the Gow collection, then you would not play the repeats. But we'll do it with repeats because it's fun to play that way. So let me play you the entire tune. The tune's name is Elsie Marley, but it's also known as Country Bumpkin because of its association with this dance. It's given right in the Gow repository itself. Okay, so this one is definitely, the dance is meant to be kind of a romp. You are just going to keep moving and plow along, and it's going to have some fun. I'm going to make sure that there we go. I'm going to make sure that my fingers can be seen on the screen. It doesn't want to stay. I better not quite do it that. Okay, that looks like that's going to work. All right, so can you all see my fingers in here live? Yeah? Okay. So it's a jig. Elsie Marley is a jig, key of G. There's no pickup note, although if we were dancing, we'd insert one just to get the dancers ready to move. So it's... What's next? So we just had this final G here. We jump up to the high G. Okay, and a little bit more to add. That's a D and a C note, C natural. So putting the two bars together. Listen carefully now. There are 3 of those low Gs. G, G, G. Okay, are there questions? And I'm looking to see if there are any questions in the chat as well. Any questions about how that works? What we're actually going to do, and this is in the Gow collection, so this is not some wild modern thing, it's syncopated. just by linking the two high G notes. It's not, it's tie it together. So it crosses the beat. How's that? Next bit, same start, but then it shifts to F, and this is F natural, not F sharp. Questions?
I can't hear you. Everybody's playing different notes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
what's that second note?
So it's a low F. That's a quarter note. Then we jump up for the eighth note on the high F. And there's two of them. C and A, the notes in the F arpeggio. So these are all arpeggio notes. Have you found the notes? Or okay. So now we're going to do the same thing of linking up the two high notes. So that's also syncopated. So yes, question.
Would you ever put like a flick in there between those, or
You could. You could also do a re-emphasis with the bow if you want to. And yes, you could even separate them. It won't kill anything. It's the same tune.
but stylistically?
Stylistically, in Gal, Nathaniel Gal wants you to tie those notes together.
But would he have put in? Would someone in that time have put in the flick? Do we know?
Probably not, since it was listed as a tie. So no, it's probably just meant to be a little bit of anticipation of the beat.
Okay.
And we saw that, right? We've seen that in modern tunes. We have one, this, Myra's Jig, sure, and Simon Tumier that we learned in our tunes that everyone should know, the first workshop of this season, in book 31. So look in book 31, first few pages, and you'll find a modern tune with that same kind of anticipatory tie. Now, we can say very much with proof, that's not a new idea.
Mm-hmm.
If Nathaniel Gow was publishing that in 1817, it's been done in Scottish music for a long time in jigs. Also, incidentally, I have examples of that from the 1700s as well. So it really isn't a new thing. People think they're doing funky, modern, syncopated rhythms. Well, it's old. Okay, so I want to put the second two bars together because remember it had that same start with the B notes and the G's, and then switch to F. So far, so good. You remember how this tune started?
The B.
Right, with the B note. Up to the high G. So let's go those 4 bars. Let's recycle those 4 bars through a few times. How is that going? More or less there?
More or less.
More or less.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Now, some good news, this tune recycles a lot. We like that. The 5th and 6th bars are the same as the 1st and 2nd. So we were essentially doing, the 6 bars. So we need the last 2 bars to finish off the A part of the tune. And those last 2 bars are the closing bars of every section of this tune. So once we learn them, we get to use them 3 times. Yay. So the ending. So let me teach you those bits. The first triplet is a C to a high A and back to the same C. The next triplet is 1 note lower, both on the bottom and the top. So it's a B to a G. So those 2 triplets back to back, it's now let's add some lilting into that. Now we've had this stepwise down from C to B. The next note is going to be an A. Just as likewise on the top, we had this stepping down from A to G, and the next top note is an F. So find that interval. And so the pattern is and then it's tied just like all the others are. So with the 2 triplets, we have okay. So how is that working so far? let's put together the whole first part then. We've got our 8 bars. And here will be a quick review of that. So there is actually an error in the music, which you can't see right now because we're teaching this one by ear, but it threw me off in the teaching. So let me fix it here, and then I'll tell you what it is. So the bars 5 and 6 are not exactly the same because the last note is different. The first time we do this, and then we're going to a B note again. But the second time we do it, we're going to a C next. So we go arpeggio notes so that we can go to the. So I apologize for teaching that wrong, but it's just one note change. So the second time. So that it leads to the C triplet thing. Okay, let's try the A part again. How's that working out? All right. Let's go on to the next part where we have a similar pattern, but a slight variation on the theme. So it's still entirely modal with this G and F alternation. It fits on the same pattern model as the first part, but this time that's our new little theme piece. So scale work. And here's what happened next. It's the same thing with the, but you're already on a D note, so that's where you start. Okay, so the new theme put together with that. next two bars. So just up and down the scale. And this leads you to an A note. With its scale. Okay, third part is again like the first part. It's the same thing except the final note is changed, so it leads to a different ending. So it's that's a B at the end. And the same ending. You remember that one? Okay, so here's our second part of the tune put together. It has our scale theme. How's that working out? Yeah, more or less. Close enough?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have a third part, because I told you this is this dance that had the three sections, the processional section, the setting and turning section, and then the reeling section. And so we need the music for the reeling section.
Is this going to be played for the dance?
I didn't put it on this Fiddle Club program, but I'll put it on in the future.
Okay, I just wondered.
Yeah.
So I did go through it once. And
Yeah,
I don't recognize that one.
Marilyn's asking about the Fiddle Club dance, which is April 6th, and there will be rehearsals. Becky will be setting the rehearsal dates and times, and will very soon, I am sure, let you know, because I think there's going to be rehearsals starting this weekend, this upcoming weekend. But the music is already available.
Good.
Is it?
Is it?
I don't think you sent. Did you send them?
I sent it to you.
You did. You did. It is
Yes.
on the website.
printed it.
I did upload it on the website. Yes.
Yeah, so-
So
Yeah,
I was
Marilyn
asked
already
earlier if
has
it was
it.
up, and I said I didn't think so. I was wrong. I did put it up.
Right. So it's already on the website, and if you want to play for the Fiddle Club dance, you can go get it and start practicing. And then rehearsals, there's mandatory rehearsal. You cannot play for this dance without some practice, so that everybody gets coordinated on how to play the tunes in the right order, in the right sequence, at the right tempo as a
You know what
band.
day of the week or anything?
That the rehearsals will be?
Right. Yeah.
I do not know that.
Okay.
Becky does. Becky leads the rehearsals.
Okay.
My job is to put together the music and the dance program. And the dancers think that we're putting this on for them. And it does serve them, because this dance is a preview of a big dance event that's later in April, the Capitol weekend. And what I did is I took all the less familiar dances on the Capitol weekend program and inserted them in various places in our dance. So people who want to practice up for their big weekend can come to our dance ahead of time and get a preview and a trial run, so to speak. But it serves us because we get to learn how to play dance music at a good tempo, good pace. And I'll just mention this right here, right now, is that I am music director for the TAC Summer School, which is the biggest Scottish country dance event in North America annually. And there is a musician scholarship available for somebody who wants to learn to play Scottish country dance music. And you basically shadow the staff musicians at this event.
When would that be?
It's in late July. Mm-hmm. And I would like for somebody to win that scholarship. So there's an announcement that will be sent out probably Monday, right, Pete?
I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah,
It's scheduled for this week.
Anyway, Pete's gonna send it out and get right on it and apply because the deadline's at the end of March.
And so how does that work? Because, I mean, in terms of winning a scholarship, what does that mean?
Oh, that means that you don't pay anything to go get this learning experience.
Oh, and then we play.
So unlike going to Fiddle camp where you have to pay hundreds of dollars to go and learn this stuff, as a music apprentice with this scholarship, you get to go to this big camp and experience all this music and work with really great musicians, and you do not pay.
Oh.
It's fully funded.
Where's the camp going to be?
So it's in St. Catharines, Ontario. It's near Buffalo. It's like on the other side of Niagara Falls.
Oh,
And
how long is it?
it's a week long. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for something where you want to really get good
I
at,
want to go.
Yeah.
Scholarship.
yeah,
Yeah. So what,
Yeah.
And it's only for
July.
one person, the scholarship.
One person.
right. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff on the chat. Oh, right. So Helen in Minnesota is saying that it's freezing. No, like not the weather. The stream is freezing.
Oh, freezing.
The live stream. So
Oh.
I'm just gonna say try signing out and then sign in again and check your connection. Because we're wired in here. So we're probably getting a very good output here, unless there's something wrong with Pete's internet. But this is a very tech house. There wouldn't be anything happening with your internet, right?
I don't think so.
So I think it's most likely on the receiving end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a speed test.
Okay. Pete's checking internet on this end just to be sure. All right. We're not experiencing any bubbles that we can tell here. All right. Let me continue on, though. We were about to learn the third part of this tune when I diverted into announcements. We'll get it back. Don't worry. Remember, this tune recycles a lot, right? Okay. So the last part is made of stuff that we've seen before. So you remember that little lick, right? Okay, that's familiar, right? And then we just repeat that last arpeggio twice. first part, we had the octave jump in F. You remember that one? Okay, so then that does the same pattern where we repeat the arpeggio part again. And now the G one again. Okay, and then the whole thing ends with our same ending as before, the triplets. Okay, so here's the last part, the third part put together. All right, I'm thinking we should try to put the whole tune together. The individual parts have this repetition throughout. So I think the actual issue with this tune is just going to be more, let's keep track of where we are. So just to remind us, the first part is the octave jump. Octave jump. And that repeats. The second part is going to be climbing the scale. And then the last part is the big jumps.
Parts are going to repeat?
Yes, we're going to play them with repeats. Oddly enough, in Gao's book, it's kind of hard to tell whether it was printed with repeats or not, but it looks like it was printed with repeats. And yet the dance is very clearly 24 bars per unit of dance. So despite that it looks like it has repeat dots on each section, that may be just like they're so used to setting it up with each section with repeats that they just kind of put it in. These books are not necessarily without misprints. I've learned that from all my looking in all the books. The Gao ones are usually not bad as far as being correct, but I wouldn't put it past to have either dots where there shouldn't be, or my copy is not good enough for me to see that those are just, like swats on the paper or whatever, dots, ink dots, instead of supposed to be there. All right, let's play Elsie Marley. First time with the second time and last time. Here we go. Ready, go. surprised. Yeah, it has a lot of repetition to it, but like I said, the dance is a romp, right? You're romping around, and it has variations where the sequence of the dance is, you do the same thing with the procession, the set and turn partners, and the reel, but you do it in different configurations. First it's this diagonal, then it's that diagonal, then it's straight on that way, and then it's straight on that way. And then at the end, the person in the middle does Highland steps while everybody circles around them. It's there are many variations of this dance. We actually had one on a Fiddle Club dance program a number of years ago. It was a dance called the Prime Minister, which you have to admit that makes it sound a little more exciting than the bumpkin, because
that's funny.
the person in the middle of this 9-person configuration is the bumpkin, or in the other dance, the Prime Minister.
I think we're looking at the meme. It's the same picture.
It's the same thing. Yes, it's the same thing. And it's got, besides, there are various versions of the bumpkin dance. They don't all go exactly the same way that Nathaniel Gow's version goes, but they're similar. They are also called the 9-some reel. And they are also called 9-pin dances. So there's a whole family of dances that are descendant of this type of dance. One variant that Nathaniel Gow says that sometimes to finish this dance, 3 more people step in, and instead of having 9, you now have 12, and it converts from a 9-some reel to a 12-some reel. And they finish off by doing the switching probably into real time and doing the classic Highland dance of 4-some reels.
When this
In
was
3
published,
lines.
was this already when they had started the tradition of changing tunes between rounds, or would this have been done with variations over and over and over again, like in the 18th century?
I think that this is an older dance,
Okay.
and that it was probably intended to be playing just to this tune. However, there are other bumpkin tunes. I know at least 2 other ones that were published by the Gows.
Yeah, well, there's one in Repository Book 1.
Yeah, there's one called The Old Country Bumpkin, and there's another one called Colonel Hamilton's Delight, aka New Bumpkin. So these are obviously connected. They are all 3-part tunes.
Well,
And
this is an old dance. Maybe that explains why he gave the instructions, because it was no longer current.
right. And Nathaniel Gow had a lot of influence in what dances were being done. He's like the big band leader, and he would actually get in consultation with the famous dancing masters and help determine, these dances will be, these tunes will be played at this dance, and therefore these dances are done to these tunes. And they kind of worked in collaboration so that every year there was a new book of tunes, new book of dances to be done to them, and everybody could stay current and fashionable. But sometimes that involved bringing back old things. And this tune, just the fact that it's in G with F as its mode, the more modern thing at that time in 1815 was to be in A with G as your mode shift. And so this G and F mode shift is an older thing that was done back when lutes were played and they were in F, and you could hop up to G and go down to F quite easily.
You also see William Dixon's Waterpipe manuscript, 1733, is in that key. All the tunes are in
right.
G Mixolydian.
Right. So this AG Mixolydian thing was found more commonly after mid 1700s versus this GF Mixolydian thing was an earlier thing, but still surviving obviously in Elsie Marley. Yeah.
On the dance floor when they're 9, when there's 3, are they kind of like in a triangle and when it becomes 12?
3 rows of 3. Yeah, and then they just extend the 3 rows by another person to make the 12 if they're going to finish with the reels, because there's two ways to finish. I already mentioned the other one where the person in the middle does fancy steps and everybody the other 8 circle around them. So it's a different way of ending. So you can also do things where the middle person changes. You can run this dance over and over and over again until everybody's had a chance to be the middle person. That would be running it really long. The Royal Scottish Country Dance Society has an official version of this that is extremely long because they run it, that whole sequence that I told you where they do it, the setting and reeling at 4 different angles. So 24 bars, 4 different times. And then the RSCDS says, and now change out the middle person. So you got to do all of that 3 more times. It multiplies very fast. And this dance seldom gets done because it's just too long. If your goal is to dance all night, you want dances like this. If your goal is to do a variety of stuff, not so much. Just like the 4 different ways is plenty. But it's clear that, depending on what you were aiming for, you could extend this thing pretty far.
Mhm.
Okay, so how about we move on to a new tune?
Sure.
All right, I have 2 lovely airs, and I think we should pick one of them. One of them is an actual slow tune, and the other one can be done either slow or at a jaunty tempo.
Which one's more fun?
They're both pretty sweet.
Kind Robin.
So there's kind Robin Loves Me is one. That's the actual slow air one, and the other one is Wheel Me the Boaty Row, also known as just the Boaty Rows, and that can be done either as a slow song or as a jaunty song. I've heard it done both ways, and I actually like them both.
What keys are they in?
C.
Kind Robin is in G, and the Boaty Rose is in D.
Okay,
They're both good keys.
Fiddle keys.
I mean, are there really bad keys, Jane? Really?
There are.
There's
Depends on who you
multiple.
are. There is. For me,
I like flat keys on the fiddle. So you're talking to the wrong person if you're going to say that those are bad keys. But
No, it's just harder.
yeah, they're
Right.
well. Even I will agree that they're about 3 or maybe 4 keys that I don't like to play in out of the 12 on the circle of fifths.
9 that I don't like.
9 that you don't like. That's pretty restrictive. Okay, so do you want to hear these before deciding which one's next?
Sure.
Okay. Here's Kind Robin. It's really pretty. And here's the Boaty Row, and I'm going to give you the jaunty version, which at the moment I'm preferring the jaunty version. But I'm just you can play it either way, and it's perfectly good, either faster or slower. Okay, so which one will it be? Kind Robin or Bodie Rose?
Buddy Road.
Bodie Rose.
Ooh,
Okay. Good choice. They're both good choices. I would have said that for Kind Robin too. Okay, Bodie Rose is in the key of D, and maybe it's nice that we're in a different key for this, since we did play a lot in the key of G to start. Okay, so our pickup note is D. And let's see, I should, since this is a song, I'll just tell you the basic content of the song is, the Bodie Rose. Well, may the Bodie row, right? It's about fish and fishing and being out in a boat. And it's a pleasant song. It's not like, oh, the dire ship is sinking kind of. It's not that kind of boat song. It's a we're having a nice day out in the boat type of song. I'm sure Pete will have
I don't know that one. I don't know that one. No, I've got lots on Kind Robin, but
Okay, so the pickup note D, and then we're using our arpeggio notes D, F sharp, and A. And then a B pickup note for the next part. Scale. Everybody wants to play A next because, that scale kind of leads you there. But it's not just a simple A, it's a snap. And that last part of it where it's headed there, but it does it by lingering long on the F sharp. That's called an appoggiatura, where it leans. Appoggiatura actually is Italian for leaning. It leans toward the note, but it doesn't quite get there until later than you think. And the idea is to make you anticipate that ending so you're a little more on edge for it before you actually get it. So snap. Okay, how did we start? Let's do it again. Okay, that's the first phrase. The second phrase is the same. Except the ending. So the whole second phrase. You know what? There's actually, in the Gao version, there's a snap there. in the two parts. So the first phrase, snap it here. There, the snap is right at the beginning of the phrase. But not here. So let's play the entire A part, the two phrases.